bad. Not sure if you saw that. I just launched a wad of marshmallows into the air with this. This is a mini catapult. So I think you all have seen catapults before. You might know how they work. I'm going to show you how to make one of these. Hello again, this is Mr. Tom here with another weekly video for you. Now, just outside in the hallway there, you saw me launch a wad of marshmallows with this mini catapult here. All right, think about how that's made. I'm sure you've all seen a catapult, so you know that when you launch a catapult, it takes force. So see how I'm pressing that down? And when I let go, it snaps back. Okay, now if you saw the bottle racers video, we talked a little bit about something called elastic energy, which if you remember is a special kind of potential energy. So if you have potential, that means you're not moving. Kinetic energy is the energy of movement. If you have potential, you could move or you might not. With elastic potential energy, you're talking about things that you could sort of bend down or wind up in the case of the rubber band in the bottle racer. And it has the potential to move, it has the potential to unwind. Same sort of thing here. Although, even though we have rubber bands here, the elastic energy gets stored in the jumbo craft stick here. Okay, and it's when you let go that you get potential energy converting into kinetic energy, which remember was the energy of movement. Now, let me show you just briefly what materials I have here. I'm going to use some rubber bands, not all of these, just 3 or 4 of them. I've got these jumbo craft sticks. Now, I've got 10 of them here. You'll want 10. You could use regular size popsicle craft sticks too, that's fine. Maybe you have popsicles at home. And when you finish those, save the sticks so you can use them to make a catapult. Also, bottle cap. I've got a hot glue gun here. You don't have to use one of these if you don't have one, that's just fine. You can use regular glue, that's okay. And of course, I've got my projectile that I want to launch, in this case, marshmallows. You can use, you know, maybe you have some acorns outside, you can use acorns as well. But I'm going to use marshmallows because they're fun. All right, now I'm going to zoom in a little closer for you. All right, now that we're up close, let's get started. Now, first thing I did was I took 8 of the craft sticks and I just stacked them one on top of the other like this. All right, now what you're going to want to do, take a rubber band and just from one end, slide it through. Now, you're going to make this tighter, you're going to wrap this around and then loop it back through again. Okay, you might want to do that a 3rd time, just to make sure it's extra tight and sturdy there. All right, so that's one end, and of course, same thing to the other. So take another rubber band, I'm going to loop it, twist it back around, loop it again, and I think one more time, just for good measure. And there, that's nice and tight. Okay, so that's like one solid block of craft sticks there. All right, this is going to be the base of your catapult. Now, you got 2 more here. What you're going to want to do with these. All right, so just one on one end, one on the other, so it's going to look kind of like a cross here. Now, this part is, at least for me anyway, has been the trickiest. It took me a few tries to finally get it right. By the way, with this video, as with all the videos I do, what's nice about them is, of course, you can pause and rewind as often as you need to. If you're a little unclear on something, maybe you want to watch something again, then you can do that. Okay, so you can go at your own pace here. All right, now, I'm going to take one rubber band here, loop it on one side, and then I'm going to lift it over like that. Okay. And then I'm going to twist, and I'm going to move down, lift it to this side, and up and over again. Right, and you should have kind of an X shape when you do that. Okay, there are a few different ways of doing this that I've found. This kind of gives you that X pattern. The main thing is, however you do it, it doesn't matter too much. The main thing is it's nice and secure. See, it feels pretty solid here. Nothing's really loose. Now, last thing I want to do, in order to make this work, one of these ends needs to be touching. See how that lifts up there? Okay, it's not going to work if they're perfectly parallel like that. You want to pinch one end. Now that fourth rubber band, you're simply going to put on the end, the short end here. See how this is longer here. The short end, take your rubber band, kind of pinch that down with your thumb and your finger, twist, over, twist, over. Should take just a few times, but however many times you need to make it nice and tight. All right, so now that, because of that rubber band there, is pinned down. Okay, and that's it, really. That's how you make a mini catapult with craft sticks and rubber bands. One more thing, you don't absolutely have to do it, but it's recommended, especially if you want to launch some objects that are maybe round, maybe slippery, would just end up slipping off the craft stick there. It's nice to have a little basket or a container to put them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue gun, just going to apply some hot glue to the underside here. Squeeze that. You don't need a whole lot. Okay, and again, of course, you can do this with regular glue. That's just fine. All right, now, put this right here, and I'm going to press this down. Now, you want to be careful because that glue is hot. Okay, you might feel a little bit on your finger. Also, you want to make sure you do have just a little bit of space. So don't have your cap all the way to the top here, because when you push this down, you want to have some space there. You don't want to push directly onto your cap. Otherwise, whatever you have in your cap isn't going to launch, right? All right, now, just going to take a little marshmallow, and it just hit the ceiling. So there you go. Now, just real quick, a couple things to think about. You might want to experiment with this. So if I move this even further, let's just pretend this rubber band wasn't here, and I move this up further, how does that affect the other side? You should see that widen a little bit. Okay, so if I put this rubber band all the way towards the end here, and I press this down, do you think that would be creating more potential energy or less? If I press this down, do you think that's going to give me more potential energy? Strictly speaking, you don't create energy. What I mean to say is, would that result in more potential energy? And if you have more potential energy, of course, you'd expect to have more kinetic energy. Another thing you can try is maybe adding more or less on your base here. How would that impact how this is going to operate? Just a couple things to think about. Might want to try it. It's pretty fun. Simple thing to do. I will see you next week for another video. Hope you had fun. Thank you.